Second messenger for vasopressin acting via V1 receptor is, right, G protein coupled receptor, cyclic MP, cyclic GMP, phospholipase C. Okay. Now, what is the question? V1 receptor. So this is about vasopressin. Vasopressin is also called as anti-diuretic hormone, right? Now this has three receptors. One is called as V1 receptor, V2 receptor, and V3. Okay, I think I have told you in the videos also that V1 can also be called as V1A, and instead of calling V3, we can also call V3 as V1B. Okay, the receptor of interest for me is always V2 because the most important role of the antidiuretic hormone is in the kidneys, which are expressing V2, right? Okay. Now, what we need to know with respect to the mechanism of action of the vasopressin or its action on different tissues is that V1 receptor is primarily expressed in vascular smooth muscle cells. Vascular smooth muscle cells, where they cause constriction of these smooth muscles, resulting in vasoconstriction. And when I say that, right, can I say that vasopressin or ADH increases the blood pressure? Right, that is why the name vasopressin comes into picture, right? Okay, now when it comes to V2, it is expressed in the principal cells of the collecting tubules. Principal cells of collecting tubules, where they cause increase in free water reabsorption, right? And thus they will help in regulation of serum osmolality. So their job is about in regulation of serum osmolality. So that is basically whenever you have a rise in serum osmolality, if the serum osmolality is going up, what is the meaning of it? Patient is getting either dehydrated, or there is loss of water, or there is addition of solutes, right? Increased osmolality means there is more solute in relation to the quantity of water in the body or the plasma. So if the serum osmolality is going up, to bring it down, what body can do? There are only two ways you can deal with it, right? Number one, you can decrease the solute load by making you lose more solute, but unfortunately there is no such mechanism which can decrease the solute load, right? So the number two mechanism is by increasing the water in the plasma. That can be done by stimulating the thirst to make you drink more and preventing the loss of water in the urine, and that prevention of loss of water in the urine is what ADH does, right? Simple question: when osmolality increases, what should happen to ADH? ADH should increase, right? So remember this one simple rule: whatever direction the osmolality follows, right, the same direction the ADH follows. If the osmolality is increasing, ADH increases. If the osmolality is decreasing, ADH should decrease, right? Let me give you an example. You might have heard of something called as SIADH, syndrome of inappropriate antidiuresis, right? Now what is happening there? You have hyponatremia, so your serum osmolality is low. What is your expectation now? The osmolality is low, hyponatremia, less solute, more water. So you should get rid of water, extra water, to bring the osmolality back to normalcy. So to get rid of that extra water, what should ADH do? ADH level should drop down. But in SIADH, that's not what is happening, right? ADH level remain elevated, or it is going up, and thus you are retaining more and more water and your sodium is going down and down. That is why it is called a syndrome of inappropriate antidiuretic hormone secretion. Okay. Number 3, V3 receptors. These are mainly expressed in the corticotroph cells in your anterior pituitary, which is concerned with secretion of ACTH, right? So stimulation of corticotroph cells by acting through V3 receptors, vasopressin can stimulate release of ACTH, right? Stimulate ACTH release. Okay. Now the second messenger, all the receptors for ADH are G protein coupled receptors, because it is a peptide hormone, right? So like peptide hormones cannot directly act on the genes, right? That's what something we need to remember. The steroid hormones can directly influence the genes, but not the peptide hormones. They have to have a proper second messenger system, and they might need to have a cellular receptor. So it is the G protein coupled receptors for all vasopressin receptors. All V1, V2, V3 are GPCRs, but their second messenger molecule that is being used is different. So when it comes to V2, it is cyclic AMP, but when it comes to V3 and V1, it is phospholipase C, right? It is phospholipase C. Basically, they're using IP3 DAG pathway, right? Diacylglycerol pathway. So the answer for this question should be phospholipase C or option D, right? That's it, guys. Hope I was able to help you. Thank you for listening.